Hey BookTube, it's Jackie. How's it going? If you are new to me and this is the first time you're seeing my face, hello, welcome to my home. I sit on my floor and I talk about books. So I hope that's why you're here, because that's what's going to be happening today. If you are not new to me, thank you for always tuning in and the continued support. I really appreciate it. Today for you, I have my June TBR. Yes, we are already in June. Holy shit. In 6 months, it's going to be Christmas. What the fuck, people? Really not ready for this. I'm not ready. But what I am ready for is this TBR, because I'm really happy about this one. There's some anticipated releases in here. There's some deliciousness in here. There's some answers that I better get in here. Talking to you, Sarah J. Maas. But yeah, without further ado, grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat, and let's get talking some books. All right. So before I show you my TBR, I do have a shout out to do and a thank you. I'm going to start with my thank you. Today, I got a very generous gift that was completely unexpected and literally just made my month. If you have been following me at all, you know I'm a big fan of the booktuber Jen over at the Book Refuge. I'm participating in her SJM read-along. I got to take part in her Mafia romance readathon, which I had a blast doing. She is primarily a romance booktuber. That is her meat. Yeah, since we're talking alpha males, we're gonna say meat. That's her meat. We're gonna go with that. That is the type of books that she talks about, reviews, and recommends. And she shared my video, my May wrap-up video that I posted last night. She took it upon herself and shared it with every one of her followers, and I'm in so much fucking shock right now. Like, it hasn't really like hit me that somebody took the time to help support me like that and reach out to this little baby booktuber. And I just want to say thank you, Jen, for what you did. I really appreciate it. Since I've been back to BookTube, I have not had a video have over like 50 views, and this video now has 100+ views, and it hasn't been up for a full 24 hours. And I'm just like in awe right now. And it was all because of her. And I want to say thank you, Jen, from the bottom of my heart for doing that for me. You have no idea what you did for me. But I will never forget it. So thank you so much. If you don't know, Jen is actually just embarking on becoming a full-time booktuber. This is what she does for a living, and she took the time out of her schedule and this crazy, scary journey to help me out. And that is so fucking cool. So if you don't know who she is, I will link her channel down below. Go check her out. She is worth every fucking penny, and she's worth every fucking minute. So please go check her out. She's awesome. And she also recommends really kick-ass great books. If you like alpha men, she's a girl. So and a shout out to all my new subscribers that joined me from Jen's channel. You hopped over here to take a look at what Jen was showing, and you liked me and you subscribed. So thank you so much. I'm so flabbergasted right now. Like, I'm still kind of shaking from this morning when it happened. So yeah, I thank you so much. I hope I keep you guys entertained, and I hope you stick around, and I hope you like what you see. And if you got any comments, you got anything to say, send them my way. I'm pretty much an open book, so I don't really have many secrets. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much. And again, Jen, thank you so much. Now I have to get into mode. Let's get in mode. Get my face on. Okay, good. All right, let's get into the June TBR. So I'm just gonna go down the line of my books, and then I'll tell you what challenge they meet and or if they're a free reading or what have you. The only difference I'm doing this month is I'm actually gonna be telling you what audiobooks I'm gonna be planning on trying to get to this month. Usually I never talk about the audiobooks at my TBRs. They're just kind of like, surprise! I just found this book and I decided to listen to it. scared the crap out of me, turned me on, pissed me off. You know, it's a crapshoot. But this time there are some audiobooks that I definitely want to get to this month, so I'm actually going to be including them in my TBR, but that's going to be at the end of the video, just so you know. All right, so the first book I have in my list over here is Amanda Forster's The Highlander Sword. This is the first installment in the Highlander series. And this book was actually a gift from my coworker, Amy. She gave it to me for my birthday. She went on Etsy and found a shop that does blind dates with a book. And this book came in wrapped in brown paper package, all tied up with string. It was fucking adorable. I don't have the Etsy shop's name, but I will ask her at work and I will link it down below so you can check the shop out. But it was super cute. I know nothing about this book. All I know is a historical romance and it's Scottish, and I love Scottish people, so it's okay. It's all right. I'm okay. I'm just gonna imagine that Sam Heughan is narrating it in my head, so I have the sexiness going on at the same time. Yeah, it's just gonna happen. All right. The next book I have here is actually my deterrent jar challenge, which if you are not familiar with my deterrent jar, it is the jar that I pull out of at the end of my wrap up each month if I have not completed my physical TBR. And these are all prompts that my husband has put in here. And for the past 3 months, I've drawn the same prompt, but last night I didn't draw the same prompt. I got to draw a new one. And the prompt was to start a series that my husband helped me finish. And what that means is he helped finish it by buying the rest of the books. It was already a completed series and he bought me the rest of the books. When he wrote that prompt, I had not started this series, and that's the series he is talking about. But since I have already started it, we decided to modify it, amend it, change it, if you will, whichever word choice you want to go with, to continue a series that your husband helped produce, which means he helped get me the books within the series. And a year ago? Damn, how long ago was that? Oh, anyway. A year or two ago, he bought me all of the released books of the Touch of Darkness series by Scarlett St. Clair, and I'm a huge fan of that series. And he also bought me the first installment of the companion series, which I believe is just called Hades, and it's his story. It's Touch of Darkness just from his perspective. And May 31st, the second installment in the Hades series dropped. So for this challenge, I'm going to be reading A Game of Retribution by Scarlett St. Clair. I pre-ordered this and it came in a day early. I have this in my hands. This is A Touch of Ruin from Hades' perspective. A Touch of Ruin was 5 stars for me, mostly because I knew this book was going to be kick-ass because Hades was 5-star for me in that book. So this might be like a 10. I don't even know. I don't have 10 scale. But I love Hades and Persephone. I love this series. Hades is by far one of my favorites. I just, oh God, I just love him so freaking much. He's just, he's so yum. He's just yum. He's all of it. So I will be picking up Game of Retribution, and I'm super, super pumped about this. I cannot wait. The next book I have is not meeting any challenge. I just felt like reading it, and it is Desperate Measures by Katie Roberts. This is the first installment in the Wicked Villains series, and this follows Jafar. I am not a big Aladdin fan, so I was a little timid about picking this up, but I was like, fuck it, I want to read it, and I've been staring at it for 2 months, so I'm going to read it, and I'm going to have some fun with it, and it's really short, and I've heard amazing things about Katie Roberts, so I want to give her a shot. And I'm really hoping that I will like it, even though Jafar is not my favorite. I will suck it up because if it's at all sexy or, you know kinky or whatever I don't know exactly how this woman writes. As long as I get some smut, I'm happy. There we go. All right. The next book I have here is actually a carryover from last month. I was supposed to read this last month for the SJM read-along, but I did not get to it. So if you are not familiar with the SJM read-along, I will link its announcement video down below. It is hosted by Jen over the Book Refuge, and what we are doing is reading all of Sarah J. Maas's books in publication order. And so I was supposed to read A Court of Thorns of Roses last month, and I didn't. So I cannot read A Queen of Shadows until I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I cannot say that today. A Court of Thorns and Roses. Oh my God, how is that a tongue twister? Fuck. So I have to read this because the whole purpose of this read along is to read it in publication order, and Sarah J. Maas veered off from Throne of Glass to start this series. So I have to read it, and I'm not upset about this. I'm just upset that I didn't read it last month. The cool thing about this book, though, is I have a goddaughter who just recently had a baby, and she actually named her first baby's name as Farah, which is the lead character in this book. So now I'll get to understand what my goddaughter's namesake is. So I'm kind of pumped about that. I didn't know where Farah was from. I thought it was some just Viking name that's like Freya, but she was pronouncing it Freya or Farah. I just thought she was pronouncing it wrong, but I was quickly corrected by her, and now I get to know what is so special about Farah. So, yay. The next book is also for the SJM read-along, and that is Queen of Shadows. Yay. I am pumped about this one. I got some questions that Sarah better be answering in this book. If she doesn't, oh my God, might have a mini heart attack, because I need to know what happened to Dorian. I need to know. I need to know. My heart can't take it. I need to know what happens to him, and I also need to know what's going on with Rowan, because him and Selena, that chemistry, bound chicka wow wow, what you gonna say? Yeah, it's there. And that bite scene in Air of Fire, it is there, and I need to know if it happens. I'm a little upset that Chaol's kind of floating in the wind, but hopefully Sarah brings them back into the fold and we fall in love with them all over again. But I'm super pumped to find out what happens, and also to get in touch with all those new characters that we got introduced to in Air of Fire, such as Manon and Abrexos, because that is a bad bitch and I want so much about her because I think she's awesome. Oh my God, super excited. Also part of the SJM read-along is we have to read The Assassin and the Underworld, which is another small novella in The Assassin's Blade. Again, don't know what that one's about. I'm assuming it's about Selena in the Underworld. I could also be totally wrong. So that is also for the SJM read-along. I am not for sure when the live show is, but when I double check, I will link it, or I'll put it down in the description box below. So if you'd like to check it out, you can. And I will also put the announcement video for the SJM read-along in it as well, so you guys can pop in at any point in time. It's super fun, and if you've read these books, you're getting details that you missed the first go around. This is my first read for all of them, so I'm loving my adventure right now. I'm just loving it. It's so much fun. All right, the next book I have here is All Quiet on the Western Front by Eric Maria Remarque. This is for my Buzzword challenge I am participating in, and I will link Books and Lala's video for the Buzzword reading challenge down below. Essentially what she did is she created some buzzwords, one for each month, and you were supposed to design your TBR around it or pick a book that just focused on it. I just did the one book, and the buzzword for June was the title had to have the word all in it, and I literally only had one. I created a list at the beginning of the year, so I knew all the books I was going to pick ahead of time or made options, because I wanted that challenge to help read down my physical TBR of owning prior to 2022. And I had one, and it's this one. This is a reread for me, but it is a awesome reread. I love reading historical fiction. I love reading history. And this one holds kind of a special part in my heart, because I bought this book at the World War I National Museum on a Father's Day trip with my dad. He actually picked it out for me, and he told me, if you're gonna be a historian, you need to read this fucking book. So I'm rereading it again. All right, the next book I have here is Lori Wick's A Whisper of the Moonlight. This is fulfilling my TBR jar challenge, which was to continue a previously started series. I read the first installment, Where the Wild Rose Blooms, in January. It was a reread for me as well. It was 5 stars when I read it. It was a freshman in high school. 5 stars now. But I never continue with the rest of the series, so I'm doing that now, and I'm doing it with this one. Lori Wick is a Christian romance author, so I am definitely taking a step back from the smut a little bit, and the super sexy fun times. But I'm okay with it. I'm flexible. Not in that way, get your man out of the gutter. I know you all were thinking it. I'm versatile. It's a better word choice. All right. Anyway, this one follows Travis and Rebecca, and I believe it actually takes place prior to Where the Wild Rose Blooms, because Travis is alone in Where the Wild Rose Blooms. So this is his story. So I don't know if it's an HEA. I could be crying my eyes out. I don't know. I really hope not, because I don't want to cry. I'm good on the crying. And the next book I have here is the first installment in the Queen's Council series. This is Rebel Rose. This is my Red Witch and Bitchin' Book Club book of the month. And this was my pick. This is by Emma Thoralt. And essentially what this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but with a twist. And the twist is we are taking the classic fairy tale that we all know and love and placing it in its historical context. So this is Beauty and the Beast during the French Revolution. And if you know anything about the French Revolution, it was not apropos to be any type of monarchy whatsoever. Uh-oh. So, we'll see what happens. I tried to read this at the beginning of the year and I didn't get to it, so now I'm coming back to it because I definitely really want to start this series. I think I will really enjoy this one. And I believe I want to say there's 2 more out now. I think there's 2 more out now, so yay. All right. Those are all the physical books I'm going to be trying to read this month. Now we're going to segue into my Audible books. I have 4 and they are as follows. So the first one is Heather McCollum's Highland Justice. And here it is. So this is the 3rd installment in the Sons of Sinclair series. I read Highland Conqueror and Highland Warrior a couple months ago and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Heather McCollum has this series based around the 4 horsemen. So Highland Conqueror was the first horseman, it's about the 4 horsemen, okay? And the first one followed Cain, and the second one followed Joshua, who is the horseman of war. Cain was the horseman of conquest. And this follows Gideon, who is the horseman of justice. Now, if those words aren't sounding familiar, the more common ones are pestilence, war, famine, and death. But there is kind of a side area of the 4 horsemen, apparently. I did some research because I didn't believe it either. I'd never heard of justice or conquering, but it is true. And this is Gideon's story, Gideon and Kate. Gideon obviously is very strict on rules that we've seen in previous installments, and I've actually already started this book, and it is not jumping off as fast as the other 2 installments did, but I feel like this one has to take a little bit more time, because if Heather McCollum writes this book like she wrote the other 2, to essentially get the girl, they had to kind of change their mentality and their mental state. Cain, being the conqueror, he had to lose. He had to voluntarily lose to win Ella. And Joshua, who is the god of war and, constant torment, had to find peace. So with Gideon being the horseman of justice, I don't want to say that he has to find the opposite of that. I think he has to determine if he's a black and white justice or a gray, because for people, justice can be a very interpretive type thing. And so I think it's going to take a little bit more world building to finally get this story going like the other 2. But I have no doubt that Heather will pull it out, because of those other 2 installments were fantastic. And this one is already shaping up to be amazing. It's just going a little bit slower. The next Audible book I would like to try to get to is Pam Godwin's Vanquish. And here it is. Okay, so about this cover. Holy shit, I love this cover. I think this is stunning. Look at the cuts on this guy. Like, the fuck? Man. So despite the cover, this follows Van and Amber. This is the second in the Deliver series. And Van, we met in book 1, and he had some demons of his own. And I'm not about kink shaming. You do you. But I don't have to. His kink is not something that I'm cool with because they're creepy. He likes dolls. Like, there's a very graphic scene where you're in his bedroom and there's this cabinet full of just pieces of plastic dolls, and that shit creeps me the fuck out. So I am intrigued, turned on, and scared all at the same time. I haven't even started this book yet. So I'm excited. Let's go. Oh my God. Van also wasn't the nicest character in the first book, so I'm really wondering how I'm going to feel about him. Yeah, so I'm very, very intrigued by this, but this cover just, oh, God. Okay, I have my moment. We're gonna say goodbye to Van for a little bit. The next Audible book I would like to try to get to is Alien Knights Disaster Blind Date by Becca Braden. And this is the 3rd installment in the Lumerian Knights. What is a quartet currently, I believe a 5th one is actually coming out, but I don't think it's out yet. So what is published is just a quartet. And this one is following Falden and Isabella. We have met Falden in the previous 2 installments. He's kind of like the lead Lumerian knight, which is this elite fighting force on Kaldor. But we learn that they are actually their own type of people. And their planet was destroyed. And so they came to Kaldor and became like this elite fighting force for the Kaldorians. And Falden is the head guy in charge, and he hasn't been on a date really goddamn long time. And he gets this, like, how-to date book, sort of. And, well, he's a soldier. And he is going to train himself to date right. And he's going to use a textbook in it. So, what could go wrong? I'm really excited about this because Falden flirts. He's a flirt. In every single installment, he has flirted with the lead heroine and pisses the other guy off. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited to see his, fun banter side come out a little bit. So I'm excited. And the last Audible book I would like to try to get to, and this is completely new to me, is The Silver Swan by Amo Jones. This is the 1st installment in the Elite Kings Club. And I don't really know much about this, except it was a free book on Audible. And it said, if you like this, you'll like this. It was one of those. And I don't remember what it was associated with, which book it was associated with. But there is a girl, she has a secret, and she has to go to this, like, prep school academy that is, like, not actually ran by these groups of boys, but they kind of are head guys in charge. And, well, their eyes fall on her, and the story ensues. So, yeah. Kind of excited. It looks really cool, and it sounds awesome. So, yeah. That's my TBR, guys. I'm nervous and excited and turned on and all that jazz because I'm going to get some question answered and all that stuff. So, here's the physical. And here is the audio. So here you go, guys. This is what I got going on for June. So I will see you all soon with another video. And again, thank you, Jen, for sharing my video and supporting me. I really, really do appreciate it. You have no idea how blessed I feel and how thankful I am. That was just so awesome of you. You did not have to do that, and I will not forget it. And to all my new subbies, I hope you stick around with me and you see what I got going for you. And if you have anything, any questions or anything, just shoot them my way. And I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye. Okay, so this is editing, Jackie. I completely forgot when I was going through the books that I don't have my classic. So we're gonna quickly do that. Remember this little jar? It's all my classic books. Yeah, let's draw it and see what my classic book is. Oh my God, I went to do my thumbnail. I'm like, I don't have my classic. Fuck me sideways. Crap. We're gonna see if I can do this. So, here we go. Mix them all up. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your food. Okay, sorry. All right, we're gonna go with this one on top. That's what I got. I kind of wish I would have just forgotten to do this. Holy shit, no! Gone with the wind. All right. It's gotta happen sometime. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. I will see you guys all soon with another video. Bye.